everyone, welcome to my channel. And I thought I'd do a build video of this ugly stick, but it's going to be highlights only. On the horizontal stabilizer and elevator I have to attach the horn. I'm not going to show you how to do that, it's easy. The prop is a 10x6, but I am seriously thinking of reaming this 9x6 prop out and use a 3-bladed prop on my ugly stick. And if that doesn't work, I've actually got a master air screw 10x6. I love this prop, but I don't want to use it. I just want to keep it. I'll use it as a letter opener. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is connect the horns. So basically I've got a rudder horn, I've got an elevator horn, and I've got the aileron horns. Now what you've got to make sure is that you put these on the correct side. And I am not 100% sure how good this quick setup guide is, so I've actually got the manual. I'm going to be printing the manual and I'll use that as a guide as well. Right, so first observation, the assembly says locate the bag marked aileron. Well, the bags aren't marked. Bit of a disappointment, no big deal. It's pretty obvious these are your ailerons, but there's no marking on the bags. Well, I've started doing the aileron horns and it's wonderful. So easy to do. The main reason for it being so easy, if I can show you here, is this rectangle is indented, so the horn sits inside it perfectly. And not only that, on the opposite side where the little plastic plate goes that you screw into, it's indented already into the aileron and it sits perfectly in place. All you do is put your thumb over it, put the screws in where the horn is and screw into it. So easy. Brilliant piece of design work. Well, this just keeps getting better. It was superbly easy to put these horns on. The other thing I'd note is that the horn screws, if you do them at opposite angles to each other, they actually bridge over the carbon spar. Right, well, that one went in piece of cake. The ailerons are done, which is this piece. So I'll just point this out here. The box itself says that it's for a 2200 3-cell, but the instructions, the printed instructions that you have to print off the internet, actually recommend a 2600 to 3000 milliamp 3-cell battery. So there is some discrepancy there. It's just inconsistency in the instructions. Now this process of putting the horns on is so easy, I wanted to show it to you. This is the underside of the horizontal stabilizer, because it's got the gaps where the carbon rods are. This is the top. Now what's unusual with the ugly stick is that the horn is on the top regarding the elevator. On the ailerons it's on the underside, on the rudder it's only on one side of course, but on the elevator the horn is on the top of the elevator. This is where the horn goes. It's got a lovely little cutout almost for it. It sits nicely like that. And you have two screws and you put them at opposite angles. So one goes in here, and you just apply a little bit of pressure, and it goes straight through and comes out the other side exactly where it should. And you take your second one. What I've been doing, I've been using my Chinese screwdriver with a magnet on it. There you are. Just apply a bit of pressure and it goes through. And there it is. So what you now do is just push those back a little bit so they're now flush. You get your little plastic piece and slot it in where it's supposed to go. And then I just basically keep a finger over it. You can screw these in. One, two. Now what I do is I screw these in so there's an equal amount of thread coming up over these, and that these heads are flush with the plastic. And that's about it. It's that quick. That's done. That is a good job. You have to flex these anyway. Wow. I'm doing the rudder horn at the moment, and it is really quite well done. This whole plastic area that has this metal bar attached, which is actually for the steering, for the wheel, the tail wheel, but they've used the whole plastic area to hold the horn. Now they didn't have to do that, they could have just had it stopped there, and you've got this plastic piece for your tail wheel steering, and then have the horn going through just foam. This is rock solid. It's superb. I'm very impressed. Anyway, I'm just going to get that attached. You've got the vertical stabilizer and rudder, and there's a slit here, and you basically just push it through, and the white pegs come all the way through out the other side. The instructions then tell you to put this on, bearing in mind that this horn is on the top, and that just basically goes over those plastic pegs. That's great, and then 2 steps later on it tells you to install the tail wheel. Well, you can't if you do that, because you need a grommet in here. So the instructions are incorrect on the quick guide. They are also incorrect on the manual. I must stress, again, it's no big deal. If you did follow them, you'd have to undo what you've already done. This would have to come apart again. Now this isn't in the manual, but what I'm going to do is put the tail wheel on, and there's a little flat piece on this metal that's cut out, and I'm going to line the grommet up with that, and then just tighten the grommet up, keeping these as level as possible. I mean, I might have to adjust it later, but then what I'm going to do is undo the second Allen key grommet. Quite tight, but if you undo it, and I'm hoping what that will do is release the wheel. Now allow me to put the tail plate on. And the wheel can now drop through that hole back into the grommet, the little connector, and get done up. Before I drop that through the hole, I'm going to screw these in. When you open your tail wheel, you get these 2 screws with it. These 2 screws happen to be for your main undercarriage. There is a separate package with these 2 screws. So I call them bolt screws. The others are self-tappers. And these will go down, and at the bottom of this plastic piece there is a nut, a metal nut, that they will screw into. I would emphasise that this is not in the instructions. So if you're a novice, if you're not used to putting something together, you could come unstuck. Yeah, that's better. There we are. And again, all I'm going to do is keep screwing until it locks tight, because I know it's going into a nut. There we go. It's good. It's good. Super easy. Unfortunately, the instructions are incorrect.